Hello, welcome back. It is October 29th, 9 degrees outside, chilly, fall, as you can see. And we're getting down to a low of -1 on Wednesday this week. So let's do a quick tour of the garden. Here we have taken out the eggplant that were there previously. There are some survivor kale from the bolted kale that went to seed and everything from the previous videos. I didn't take that guy out. He's still flowering and looking very, very cute. That is the hole Ivy decided to dig to China. We weren't happy about that. And I'm noticing there are a few garlics that I didn't harvest, I guess, that have decided to sprout up again. So this is just going to get maybe some compost added to it for this fall. I'm running out of time though because the ground is going to freeze soon. All right, moving on, we've got the pond still going strong. I did take out a whole bunch of the water hyacinth, cleaned it up a little bit, took some of the leaves out of there. I chopped some of the umbrella palm, but there are lots that are dying. I'm sure after we get that frost on Wednesday, it's going to be rough. The blueberries that are the red bushes here are starting to lose their leaves. However, this, I think it's sorrel. I don't know if I'm saying that right. It is doing really well, and it was a transplant from my Click and Grow garden. We got all the patio stones in, and I planted roughly, I think just under 100 crocus bulbs in throughout the yard. So in the spring, it should have a whole bunch of flowers. It'll look really cute. I'm really excited, looking forward to it. The apple tree, obviously dying back. The cosmos have finally decided to do their thing right at the end of the season. Beautiful. I have to trim some of them back. I've already started to. You can see all the dead parts in there. And it's just traveling up. And they're too heavy when it rains. That's why everything's flopping over. Looks like my neighbor has some going into his yard. I took out a lot of the plants that were in here. There were some peppers in here previously. There is borage that I left back there, but it'll probably die with the frost coming. The succulents, these have been here for years. They do great. They're just going to keep doing their thing. We've got the fig tree. Lost all his leaves. Not surprised. Hopefully it makes it to next year. We're keeping our fingers crossed. There are still some of these guys in here. The marigolds. I was going to pull them out, but I think I'm just going to leave them until next spring. I took out the tomato stakes that were in here because a few of them failed me over the summer and the tomatoes didn't do that great here. So I'm going to plant, I think, maybe like very short, either beans, bush beans. I mean, whatever I planted there were technically bush beans, but look at them. They're huge. They ended up climbing so high. So we'll plant bush beans or cucumbers or something along here next year. Moving on. In these two beds, garlic has been planted. Whole bunch of different types. Music garlic, red Russian I think is the other type. The regular white garlic. All in these two beds. So I don't have to really worry about the beds come next spring. Pumpkin has died. I picked it. It's inside. I haven't carved it, but I'll let you know when I do. I mean, Halloween is on Tuesday, so I should be carving it pretty soon. Maybe I'll go and do pumpkins tomorrow. These guys still doing all right. The yard has leaves everywhere. We've been raking them. Unfortunately, I can't leave them. A lot of people say, leave the leaves. It'll benefit the garden, which I do completely agree with, but there's like dog poo amongst the leaves and you can't see it very well, so you have to pick it up. Also, the yard gets very mushy if I leave the leaves. I do put some in this bed, and I spread them out in my front yard, but I don't like having them in the yard and on the cement pad. They get slippery, they get mucky. This is my husband's project of walnuts. These are put in prison because the squirrels try to steal the walnuts. That pile there has been picked through by the squirrels. And you might remember there were those 2 wooden beds here. Those are gone now, and we're working on getting rid of that one too. I just want more space for activities and the fire pit in the summer. All right, over here, see, look, the squirrels took all the nuts out of there. Over here, the oregano and thyme are doing great. Planted some garlic in here too. It looks like some tomatoes are sprouting, and there's some garbage in here. No one's surprised about that, but those are little baby tomatoes. Yeah, the tomatoes self-seed here. So we'll have tomatoes here next spring, and I won't have to do anything. They'll just come back. And these ones are the pink beefsteak, and on that side were the, oh my goodness, what were they called? The San Marzano. But I have taken those away from here, packed it up for winter. I still have to pack up the bean bed. As you can see, there are beans still. I think we have mostly harvested all of them. And then there are a few carrots growing in here, which I don't have super high hopes for, and a random tool that I just left there. All right. Over here, I guess this would be the last little bit of the garden tour for the backyard. Surprisingly, the sedum is doing great. We're just going to stick this tool in another garden. Closer to the greenhouse, okay? We're making progress. The sedum is doing great. I should probably clean it up. There's some weeds growing in here. But this guy's doing really good too. He's just thriving in the cooler temperatures. I don't remember what this was called. It's probably a snapdragon of some sort. It's like a super mini purple yellow snap. And then these purple guys are kind of having a bit of a hard time, but they're still holding on for dear life. All right, and that's it for the backyard. So let's head into the greenhouse next.